Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. I have been crafting most of the day, kind of on and off, doing different things, and I've managed to make one project, and I've got it in here. It's a 6x6 card. Please excuse the disaster on my nails there. They snapped off yesterday. And my nail technician, I've just seen on Facebook, is on holiday, so I'm stuck with them. So this is a card that goes into a 6x6 envelope, inches that is. But if you're going to make this card, please watch the size of your envelope. This is a bit on the tight side to the point that I actually can't even get this out of here now. Oh dear. Yeah, I can't get that out of there. So watch the size. I'm going to have to just bust the envelope open. Watch the size of your envelope. If it is a really tight 6x6, you might want to just reduce the width of your card down a bit. This is what I've got. It's a card that kind of sits as a box, like that. So just something a bit different. I've seen a few things. I've seen some that are actually like a proper box shape here. This one I didn't think needed it. I've used the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper where I've die cut some of the flowers. This is Hues of Happiness here. I've used the scallop contour dies for my sentiment. I've used the Wildflower Path stamp set, Starry Sky ink, and some Balmy Blue cardstock. Just a little bit of everything going on here. You can't quite see. Let me just lift the camera up a bit so you can see what it looks like there. And I've just put that bit on there. These bits of paper cover up a disaster with some glue. So that's the first time I made it. I've spent a lot of time making sure that I've got the measurements right because I didn't actually see any measurements on the kind of ideas and inspiration that I saw. So I thought, you know what, Donna, you're going to have to just go and work it out for yourself. Anyway, if this is the first time that you've come across this channel and it's popped up on your kind of suggested channels feed, my name's Donna. I'm from Wales in the UK, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I love paper crafting. This is what I do. I do it in my spare time because I'm a full-time teacher. And I've been doing this for about 5 years now. And I absolutely love it. So if this is the first time you've come across me, give me a subscribe if you like paper crafting. Give this tutorial a like, but this is going to be a long one. So kind of you might want to pause, grab yourself a brew, get yourself a drink, perhaps get yourself a notepad and pen to write those measurements down, or you can just wait for my blog. And there's a link to that in the description bar below. There is also a link to my shop in the description bar. So any of the things that you might like to buy, or maybe some extra bits and pieces you want to look at, there is a link to the shop. A link to all of the products will be in the blog post, and you can purchase me if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or Holland, the Netherlands. Right, let's get going. So like I said, this is going to be quite a long video today, and I will pretty much do it in real time apart from the die cutting because my big shot takes up so much room in shot. When I wind it round, it makes the whole table wobble, makes the camera wobble, and it's not kind of good viewing really. So let's get started. And the first thing you're going to need is a piece of cardstock. Choose your DSP first. So I'm going to get my little bundle of DSP down here. I'm going to use Hues of Happiness again because I've got these flowers already die cut. So I'm going to go back with, I actually think I've got some over here. Yeah, there it is. No, that's not it. Can't find my paper. There we are. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use maybe something different. Let's go and find it. Here we go. So this is my DSP, and I've been using this to die cut all of my flowers. And on the back of that, so I've got another sheet of it. On the back of that, I've got this, and that's what I'm going to use as my background. And what I'm going to do is pick up this, which I think is Gorgeous Grape. That's what I'm going to go with anyway. So I'm going to pick up some Gorgeous Grape and use that as the background of my card. So there's my Gorgeous Grape card. So I'm going to cut this down. I'll get this out in a moment. Now, this is 12 by 12. We're going to trim this down to 6 inches, although you can make that slightly narrower if you like, and maybe you want to make that 5 7/8. It doesn't make any difference to any of your other measurements, and I will go through those as we go along, but I'm just going to stick with a 6 by 6 for now, or stick with the 6-inch width, is what I meant to say. And then the length of this is 11 inches. So 6 inches by 11 inches. So you can use A4, that would fit perfectly, but I don't have any A4 gorgeous grape. And I don't know why I've got 12 by 12. I never use 12 by 12, but that's what I've got. Must have had a shortage of brights at one point. Okay, so I'm going to get the scoreboard out. And on the 11-inch side, I'm going to score at 6 inches, 7.5 inches, 9 inches, and 10.5 inches. So that's the only scoring we'll need. We'll trim down some paper in a moment, but so with this, you're going to get a bone folder, and you're just going to do mountain folds for each of these. Now what's going to happen is that we're going to put some adhesive on here, and we're going to fold it over and put that on there like that. Okay, but what we need to do, we're going to decorate this first. Now just before I do that, I want to make some marks on this, and I'm going to make them in pencil so that I can rub them out afterwards if they're visible. So on this first score line, on the 6-inch score line, you're going to put on there your 1.5 inch mark, and then at 0, just make a little mark there in that 6-inch by 6-inch square. So just a few little marks there. You will be able to rub these out afterwards if they're visible. Now this is 1.5 inches that way, which means that when we fold this over, we're going to use that as our markers to where we're going to put that, so that we get a proper square there. So we'll deal with that in a moment. Now, if we go back to this, I just love the really moody colours on this, and I want to make sure that I've got some of this gorgeous grape in here, otherwise there's absolutely no point in using this part of the card, but also of the paper rather. But also this then moves into starry sky, probably a bit of night of navy, and this could be pool party or a bit of balmy blue in there. It's a real mixture. Now that DSP, we're going to cut that a width first of 5 7/8. Now if you have trimmed down your card, your original card, to 5 7/8, you want to make the width of this 5 3/4. Now what I want to do is keep the continuity of this pattern all the way around. I don't know if you can see this on here, but the first card that I made, all of that, it just came from one piece of paper. I just cut it at particular sections. So there's your piece of DSP that's 5 7/8 or 5 3/4 wide. Turn it round. This is the top, and then you are going to first of all slice this at 4.5 and keep it like that. Put that to one side. Then you're going to have another piece that is 1 3/8, so just keep along that same kind of production line. So 1 3/8, and then another piece that is 1 3/8. there is my card. Where that is folding round, that's the front. So this piece I'm going to stick on there. Now it looks like, you think, well, there's this great big gap. Well, yes, there is, because that's going to fold round like that. So we're going to put that on there like that, and then you should be able to see those pencil marks there. So that's where the fold line of your box is going to be. And actually, I need to take a teeny tiny bit off the top. It's not 4.5, it's 4 3/8. Sorry. I'll put it right in the blog. It's 4 3/8. So I'm going to take it off the top, otherwise I lose the continuity at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is take off 1/8 of an inch. That's not the easiest thing to do. That's better. It's always good to check these things. So that's on there. Now I can see my pencil marks. So we've got that on there. And then this next piece that went with that then goes on this top part here. And then this bit will go on the front there. So you have to keep an eye on where everything is going. So no rushing, taking your time. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue on the back of this. Liquid glue is ideal for this because it gives us a little bit of wiggle room to get the paper in place. And let's pop that on there like that, so I can see those pencil marks. And what we have now is 1/16 of an inch all the way around. If you prefer 1/8 of an inch all the way around, then you are going to reduce the size of your DSP in comparison with your cardstock by 1/4 of an inch. I prefer the 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So then this piece sits on there. So we'll put that on there like that. So that's the top, and then this is the front. And this card will fold flat into an envelope. Now, if you would prefer to make this as a 4x6 rather than a 6x6, again, all you need to do is just alter the measurements. So this wouldn't be 6 inches wide. It would be 4, and then it would be 6 inches tall. So it will sit 6 inches, but it will fold flat into the card like that, or into the envelope rather. So now we're ready to form that box shape. So this piece here, this little 1/2 inch border, we are going to put some tear and tape. Tear and tape works perfectly with this. But if you would prefer liquid glue, you can. I just think that's a little bit more awkward, but it is each to their own. And I'm going to put that right on that fold line. So take the backing off that strip of glue. You've got to be careful with this bit. Fold that right down. And really what you should be able to do is just fold it flat. And as long as you've got all of those lines matching, both sides should be completely, it's not off a square, if that makes sense. So if all of your score lines are accurate, you should just be able to fold that flat upwards, and then there we are, it sits like that. Okay, so that's the main body of the card, and then you can just decorate it however you like. Now, I think if we look at this, I've used balmy blue for this, but I can't help thinking that if I put some more purple on there, it's going to make this card really dark. So I need to think about how I'm going to do this. But I am going to be using this. I suppose it lightens it up a bit. You need a piece of card. Let's go with Gorgeous Grape because it's too late in the day for me to start thinking about, what will I do? You want a piece of Gorgeous Grape card that measures 4 inches by 4 inches. And again, you can alter these measurements up however you like. So if you're doing a 4-inch width card, then you might want to make this 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So I've got 4 inches square, like that, in Gorgeous Grape. And then this, I want this to be 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, but I want to pick up this Gorgeous Grape here. So what I'm going to do is just do this 3 7/8. And then I need to decide where, see if I just take that off there like that, it's not going to be very central. So I'm just going to whip a little bit off the end there. It's a bit wasteful, I know, but I can use those scraps for something later. Still not very even. I'll be spinning this round all over the place for hours trying to get this right. Just want to take a little bit more off of there. That's it. I'm going to go with this now, whatever it is. So that's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And I just wanted to get these Gorgeous Grape flowers roughly in the middle of that piece of paper. And I'm going to pop that on there like that. Now, depending on what the sentiment of your card is, you can put whatever sentiment you like. If it's a thank you card, then find some sort of gratitude sentiment. Could be an anniversary. Could be anything, couldn't it? So there's that's going to be our centerpiece. That's going to sit on there like that. And then I'm going to put something behind it just to keep it together and to stop it flapping about. Okay, so I'm going to use the Colour and Contour stamp set, and I'm probably going to use the coordinating dies as well. I'm using so much stuff for this card, I've chucked everything at it. So I'm going to use the Heart Duo punches, and I'm going to put a heart right in the middle of this. I need to decide which way up that's going. It's bugging me as each time I look at it, I think that's wrong. I think I'm going to have that in the middle. Right. Kind of vertically is what I'm trying to say. So using some Gorgeous Grape ink, I'm using this Thanks for Everything stamp from the Colour and Contour stamp set. There's my Gorgeous Grape ink. I think you could also use the Oasis Orchid as well. Oh, sorry about this wobbling the camera. Depends whatever you have to hand. You can use black if you want to. You can use whatever you like. There are no rules in crafting. So let's just, that fits in there quite nicely, doesn't it? So let's do that in the plain edge heart. And then with the scalloped edge heart, pop that out like that. Gosh, my desk needs some tidying. So that's going to sit on there like that, and I'm going to pop that in there and cover up all of my Gorgeous Grape flowers. Oh well. Right. Mini Stampin' Dimensionals. We know this is a Taffy Crafting favourite. If this is the first time you've come across me, you will know, or you will learn very, very quickly how much I love Mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Rumour has it that whenever there is a shortage, it's because I've bought half a dozen packs at a time. And I'm quite frugal with them as well. Right, pop that on there like that. And then we're going to put that on there like that. And I think I'm just going to, we could put some twine on it, but I don't know if, no, I'm not. But I do see people like doing things with twine and putting it underneath and sticking it on there. I can't do it. I just can't do that. I'm rubbish at it. And I was just going to stick this down with liquid glue, but far better with this. It gives it a bit of height as well, a bit of dimension. So I can't remember if I said, this card is for Fun Fold Friday. Myself, Crafty Karen Designs and Vicky Lou Designs have been doing Fun Fold Friday and 3D Thursday for, I don't know, about 7 weeks now. I love it. It's really given me some purpose to my crafting, which has been quite nice. Because sometimes you sit there and think, I have no idea what I'm making. I've got these pastel gems. So I'm going to have a couple of those on there like that. Oops, that's stuck to my tweezers. Oh gosh. Now, we're going to put this on there like that. And then once I've got that on there, then I'll know what else I'm going to do with this card. So before we put it on, we need to remember that when this folds shut, so we can't have it there because when it folds, that then goes above that. It's got to be here so that when it actually sits flat, then we've got some room around it. We also need to make sure that it is sitting centrally in there. Now, where I made the mistake earlier is that I picked up this piece and just put it down, and then I ended up putting glue at the top behind this. It needs to be here at the bottom. Let's put that in place properly. Tear and tape again works beautifully with this, but liquid glue would work just as well. So just while I'm doing this, I've had some absolutely lovely comments on my YouTube channel recently. Please leave me a comment, say hello, tell me if you've been inspired by this. Your comments absolutely brighten my day. I very rarely get bad comments. When we were right in the middle of the pandemic, somebody did decide that they wanted to criticise the state of my nails. So thank you. We're in the middle of a pandemic. There are no nail technicians. She said, I'd be so embarrassed to show those nails off. So, thank you very much. I'm proud of the fact I'm staying at home and not spreading. Right, so that's going to fit on there like that. I'm just going to eyeball it that it's in the middle. I'm just going to eyeball it that looks straight there. I think there is a slight deviation in my measurement at the bottom. Well, I don't think, it just doesn't look straight to me, but I think it is. It's not very straight, is it? Let's just lift that up a little bit. Oh, that's stuck right down. That's going to have to be what it is. So that's that. I need to decide if anything needs to go up here. And I still haven't decided yet. I'm just having a look at some punches and things. I know what I'm going to do. I absolutely know what I'm going to do. I've got it. Colour and contour. And then if I just get my ink block, and I'm going to pick up this. Get my gorgeous grape out again. Now at the top of this is quite pinky. So I think we can put some perhaps purple flowers on there. And we might be able to get some green on there as well. Let's see what we can do. Sorry, everything's wobbling. So I'm going to do a few of these. I absolutely love this flower. I love it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go off and die cut these. Oh, that's not come out very well, has it? Oh, it doesn't matter. Really can't tell. So I'm going to die cut those out. Back in a mo. Okay, and as if by magic, there we've got 2 flowers. Just need to see what they're going to look like on there. So let's just bring that down there for a moment. Might need one in a different colour, so we could get one in this pink colour here. So let's just die cut a couple more of those. Now for these next set of flowers, what I actually did is I cut them out of the DSP just to have a look, see what we get. So we've got these on here like that, and we can arrange them just in a bit of a cluster. Right, so I've collected up all of my flowers and I just want to see how I'm going to arrange them so that they look quite kind of random, and then we'll bling them up a little bit. So I'm just going to stick these down with mini dimensionals. Now, I'm not going to do it on this one, but the sentiment for this card, you could do a piece of 6x6 white card and stick that onto the back, or paper. Card's better. It's a bit more sturdy, a bit easier to write on, or you could write on it first and then stick it on. Whatever you prefer. I'll put that there. I think I'm going to put that one there. And that one there, I think. So I'm going to bring this one here just so that I've got that lighter colour going on with the darker card. And then we'll have another one here in Gorgeous Grape, going more to the top. Let's put that over that one. And then this one will go over that, like that. Might actually be able to get this video under 30 minutes. Let's pop that on there like that. So when it sits up, when it's on a shelf, you can partly see them. They get completely covered up when it's in the envelope, but that doesn't matter. Then we'll have that, and it can be seen kind of from different angles wherever it is sat on a shelf. Right, so let's just get a little bit of bling on this, and I think I'm going to use, let's see what I've got. I quite like these opal rounds. I think they're really, really pretty, apart from when they ping over to the other side of the room. I have one of those on there. Should be able to get one on all of these. How you decorate this is entirely up to you. I've kind of just given you an example there. Just need to do the very back bit, so I won't get it into 30 minutes. Or I can't actually. It's going to have to stay like that. So I can't put, I hadn't thought of it, I can't put that bit that holds it together because my flowers are in the way. No, I'll have to keep it like that. But it's fine, it sits. Do you know, it sits like that. It doesn't matter, that's not going anywhere. So there you have it, a stand-up card. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it's got some folds in it, so it makes it a fun fold card with some floral bits, using the less obvious hues of happiness and some colour and contour. So I hope you like that. There we are in under half an hour. And I hope you like it. And if I do it again, I'll show you how to do that back bit. Thanks ever so much for joining me. I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.